Sorry to bother you, but they need an extra person in the back room. Are you free?
I saw it, and it was like it was twisting and fighting for its life.
It's Abby's true story, but then it's also got the controversial elements of abortion coming in and, taking part in this. What was it for you that kind of drew you to the role?
Well, the story first and foremost. It's an incredible story, the fact that it's a true story. And then really, I think to paint a broader picture for women, for everybody, what pro-choice truly represents, what Planned Parenthood is really all about. I think right now we're seeing the uprising of the feminist movement more than ever with Me Too, which is an awesome thing to see things that have been kept secret. Women are getting a voice as never before. But now I think that there's another layer and level to add to that. When it comes to standing for women, believing in women, what true feminism represents, that there needs to be a bit of a discussion, a conversation, an understanding where pro-choice fits or does not fit in a true feminist movement.
You have been speaking for the past several years
Yes.
and talking to audiences because you took a little hiatus from acting and this kind of brought you back. So maybe share a little bit of your story.
Well, I did. I started my career when I was 16 as a dancer. I saw the movie Flashdance. Do you remember? Went out and got a big old perm and cut up all my sweatshirts, and I decided this is for me. So I did. I danced for many years. I worked with Prince. Then I went into acting and did all sorts of TV shows, and I became a Christian. And at that point, I was feeling some conflict because the roles I was going out for weren't things that I wanted to do. And I was getting stronger in my faith, and I was really sensing that God had called me for ministry. So for many, many years now, I've been traveling and speaking. I wrote a book called Counterfeit Comforts. I'll give you a copy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's really about women connecting with who they are, getting past their past, seeing themselves, knowing their purpose. So Unplanned aligns with all of that. It was only just a God orchestrated event that here I am on this set all these years later. It's been 13 years since I've done a movie.
Wow.
And that now as a believer, God's brought me back into this project to take a stand for women from another angle, not necessarily a faith angle, even though there is faith in the movie, but it's not about preachy or it's not coming from that perspective. It's really about women empowerment.
And then to bring you in and you're on the opposition,
I'm
so to
on the
speak,
other
right?
side,
You're
yes.
you're the head of Planned Parenthood, or
Yes.
the director, if you will. And you have some tough conversations with Abby.
You wouldn't believe some of the things actually took place if it were not a true story. And that's what's wonderful, because the agenda of Unplanned wasn't to come and just paint a picture that is fabricated. There are, Cheryl is based on representing Planned Parenthood. She's not necessarily one person, but she's bits and pieces. But there's very specific dialogue that Abby encountered when she was working at the clinic that my character says. So I think for the audience, it will be eye-opening. I know it was for me. And I think we talked about this a little bit the other day about how media just really shows us one side and only the positive side, but we don't always get the full picture. And so I think what's so interesting about Unplanned is that we are going behind the curtain, if you will, and we're seeing the dynamics of how the clinic operates. We're seeing the motive of the pro-choice movement. And I think for so many people, it's going to be a side that they didn't even know existed.
Congratulations. You've made an enemy of one of the most powerful organizations on the planet.